Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, As and Breeze. As I said last week, today we are living in a global era that can be called a free market for the spirit. We have inherited the legacy of Buddhism, Shintoism, Christianity, Islam, and many other rich spiritual cultures. We are incredibly grateful to be able to learn and practice the core of each teaching today. Our mission is to reveal the true happy way so that learning and practice and pass that royal road on to the next generation. The philosophy of consciousness only and sunyata are two basic philosophies of Mahayana Buddhism that are still valid today. Especially consciousness-only philosophy, which I will talk about today, is a framework of ideas that comprehensively learn and accept these spiritual cultures and religions on a common horizon. First, I will ask about our basic question of what I am. What am I? What am I? I listen to that answer every time I visited my master Oisaidan Roshi's Doksan room. Become Mu, full of heaven and earth. Become Mu, full of heaven and earth. His powerful words are still in my ears. When we completely become Mu, full of heaven and earth, Kensho with great delight visit us naturally. Mu is not empty. A Russian Buddhist scholar said that we translated Mu into relativity rather than empty, and that is right. It is more accurate to say life that fills the heavens and the earth, or just cosmic life. However, it is the life of all who can only live as it is, which we cannot regard as an entity. Consciousness-only philosophy clarifies the structure of imaginary thought and fear. Everyone is alive in cosmic life, eternal life and light, but cannot live in peace due to imaginary thought. Therefore, the purpose of consciousness-only philosophy is to convert the consciousness of ego mind to the wisdom of prajna. That is, to realize Kensho, by practicing the Zen and meditation, using that theory as a clue. Let us explain consciousness only with this figure. The title is Overall Structure of Cosmic Life. Consciousness only and hypothesis modern science and hypothesis modern science. This figure present the cosmic life as sea and waves. This is wave, and all this is sea or ocean. Waves are the perceptible world of Ken. This is perceptible surface consciousness. Perceptible, we can see and notice. Perceptible world of Ken. Superficial consciousness or surface consciousness that distinguish and recognize things by seeing and hearing them. You, me, that, like this. This is flower, like this. This, like this. Here, this is, let's say, just a moment. Yeah, okay. And below that wave is the world of imperceptible deep consciousness. Here, deep consciousness, deep unconsciousness. Here. At this side, surface consciousness. Ken, in Japanese, Ken. And this unconsciousness, deep unconsciousness, this is Mei in Japanese. So the world of Mei, deep unconsciousness, which we are not usually aware of. In the 4th and 5th century, the consciousness school revealed deep consciousness through the Zen meditation. This is a great discovery. First, on the surface of this wave part, there are 5 senses. There are 5 consciousness, 5 senses. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Babies, 1 and 2-year-old child, do not even know the name of things, so they just see and hear. As we grow up, humans perceive flowers by the word flower, through their 6th mind. Furthermore, there is a sense of value such as a flower that you like or dislike. So, children, 1 or 2 year children or baby just see, but we see flower from this consciousness, from this mind, or we call also mind. Flower, we know, oh, this is flower, and inside, I like this, or I don't like this, like this. There is no good or bad flower, but here, oh, no good flower, oh, bad flower, beautiful, like this. And at a level that is not usually noticed under the superficial consciousness, the obsession of the heaven's consciousness of ego is working deeply like this. We usually not notice, but we have inside deeply ego consciousness. It is difficult for an ordinary adult to see and hear as it is, like an innocent child. We live in a world of seeing and hearing. No, we live in a world of seeing and hearing objects through our own map of value judgment based on our deep-seated ego attachment. So here, he, you see him, you don't like him, so just he is not good or bad. He is he, suchness. But we see him from this self-conscious mind, and this ego consciousness is also work. Oh, he, I don't like him like this, or like this. So it is difficult for an ordinary adult to see and hear as it is, like an innocent child. We live in a world of seeing and hearing objects through our own map of value judgment, and it's based on our deep-seated ego attachment. But Matsuo, for example, Matsuo Basho captured the light of the flower innocently at the level of where the words disappeared. He just only see or hear without ego. In his haiku, there is a space of silence. Living like him is to live as it is naturally. But most people are slaved with the ego mindset and live in the past, not every day new and creative present. Really, every day is new and creative present. But we, by ego and this mind with ego, we cannot live as it is, we can live the past, not the present. Deeper inside, the eight consciousness. In here, the deep consciousness, eight consciousness, store the memory of the act. We call this in Japanese shuji, like seed in English. The potential. This is potential. The potential to cause the next act. So it is called here. This level here. Eight consciousness, araya consciousness. Also, it means araya means the consciousness of storehouse. I feel that in the eight consciousness, here in the eight consciousness, levels are deepening and expanding, like family, the globe, and the eternity, yeah, like nation, I like nation. For example, when we are in hostile conflict with each other, the unpleasant experience of the past decide as potential, here like this, peke, and further enchanted at the deep level become big, this. Oh, why he said that like that? And drinking sake like this, become big. And at the next opportunity, that energy appears as unproductive act with ego attachment. Oh, no good. Therefore, the mutual understanding and reconciliation are difficult. It is indispensable to remove the shackles of each other's self-consciousness, purify the energy of araya consciousness and convert it into bright and productive energy. To clean, like this, make clean and positive energy. Let's try to store good or positive memory. Only inner peace and love can create a peaceful relationship and society full of love. So, these consciousness, these all total consciousness is create our life. So, the most important point is how to get rid of ego consciousness and store a good memory of the act, positive and good and beautiful memory of the act in this field, araya field. So this is very important point. Today I want to end today's talk. Next time I will continue this. I will post this English version of this figure on my blog and homepage later. Please, if I eat. Next week, I will continue to talk about the answer, what am I? And my sequential experience with this figure. Finally, I want to tell you a good piece of information. In Tendai teaching, at the bottom of Araya consciousness, there is the ninth consciousness. It's called Amara consciousness. Amara consciousness is innocent, clean, and eternal one. It called also Tathagata Garbha. Or these days, someone called Source. Or we can also say Amida, infinite light and life, or absolute love. So, we can have hope. We can trust our life. As Hakuin Zenshi said, we ordinarily have Buddha nature. We ordinarily have Buddha nature. So, how to realize this our Buddha nature is next point. This is Kensho. Thank you. Today my talk is enough. So just a little sit the Zen and be calm, and then chant, a little chant, and goodbye. さて、like, okay, today this is very difficult. Hi. Breathing out.
信用万事大菩薩より般若波羅蜜多時諸言語外部道一切不役者利子式不空意識式即税空即税式住創業式薬分業チャリシ税小北祖父小不滅不不上不増不減国中無式無住創業式無限に微絶真義無式証拠国法無限界内し無意識界無無明薬無無明人内無老死薬無老死人無苦修熱道無知薬無徳無所特攻膨大殺大般若波羅蜜多故心無形無形無空理一切天道無即行念反三世小仏般若波羅蜜多孤独アヌグダラ三脈三宝大鼓般若波羅蜜多世大神修世大名修世無常天無道道修の上一切空戦列不公公説般若波羅蜜多収束説収圧やてやて波羅やて波羅僧や菩提そわか般若心経延命実空観音よ安世女無仏有仏因有仏縁仏法相縁上楽が少年間世音忘年間世音年々重心期年々不利子安世女無仏有仏因有仏縁仏法相縁上楽が少年間世音忘年間世音年々重心期年々不利子安世女無仏有仏因有仏縁仏法相上楽が上少年間世音忘年間世音年々重心期年々不利子願わくはこの功徳をもってあまねく一切に及ぼし我らと主上と皆共に仏道上善鼓動実法三世一切の諸仏諸尊菩薩摩訶薩摩訶般若波羅蜜The vow, keeping calm and composed, living in the cosmic life as it is. Let us become fully compassionate to perform our respective vocations in life. Let us join hands as universal brotherhood. Discern the agony both individually and socially and its source, to create a world in which everyone can truly and happily live. Nam Ami
So, good night and have a nice weekend and see you next Saturday evening. はい。ブンダバー、ブンダバー。結構や。よいしょよいしょ。